online ordinances. That you always get an estimate from them, and the range is from $1,430 to $1,709, which includes shipping and handling as they codify all the ordinances that were adopted, which is from 2018-01 through 2018-05. And so the motion is to approve the general code supplement number 10 estimate.
I'll make that motion. Second.
I'll second that.
Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. Authorize Union Barrel Works.
Yes, Mr. Chair, the motion is to approve the Union Barrel Works to temporarily close the first block of North Reamstown Road for approximately 45 minutes on New Year's Eve, beginning at 11:45 p.m. And this is a routine annual request. You have the email before you.
A motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Tax collector.
Next, okay, Mr. Chair, next thing is I'll read the motion. The motion is to change the newly appointed tax collector, Sue Nielsen, to a one-year appointment to fill the unexpired term of Joan Fisher effective January 2nd, 2019. This appointment shall terminate on December 31st, 2019, and shall supersede the previous appointment motion. This was talked out in great length. It's just changing the term.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I have a clarification question. This new person's appointed till when next year?
It's a one-year appointment.
Okay,
It starts
and-
January 2nd and ends December 31st.
Okay, and then when does this person or anybody else run
They would start running in the spring primary.
at spring primary and the fall, or is that two people?
So, the appointment is carries through to the next municipal general election. That was the mistake we made with the last one.
Thank you.
Okay. Old business.
I have nothing to update on the traffic safety at 272, and on the EMS working group update, there have been discussions between Reamstown EMS and I'm not announcing the other EMS group. There's going to be a meeting with them. There's talk about generally helping and assisting Reamstown with some additional volunteers from the other EMS group, and then having a broader discussion about someday possibly regionalizing.
New business, DocStar 219.
Mr. Chair, you have an estimate here. Just introduce it to the board. I would request that we take action at our next meeting. The estimate here is with DocStars. That is for the public's benefit, our software that we use to digitally archive all the material that now comes into the township. A good deal of the material plans that we get from land development stuff, we are now going more to digital archiving versus paper box archiving to try and save space and such. We have been using DocStar for at least over 5 years now, as I can determine looking back in the records. We have a server that was provided by a DocStar vendor that's now at the end of life. And our DocStar software package is also at the end of this year will no longer be supported by DocStar. It's an old version. The new version will update the current licensing to the current licensing for DocStar, and we will go away from having a server and go to a cloud-based document storage, which is more secure and actually has less issues of possibly, if the network goes down or the computer goes down, we have catastrophic loss, and we're not worried about backing up. The costs are in line with what we've been budgeting for the last couple of years for DocStar. So we get rid of the computer payment, the server payment that we've been doing. We're now replacing it with a cloud fee instead with this proposal. We did look at Laserfish. We made a request to them for a proposal. They were non-responsive.
The proposal is what, $7,630 a year?
Yeah, which that says it's in line, because we were paying an annual service fee to DocStar that was roughly about $1,500, $1,800 a year, plus we were paying the server charge over the years too, on a monthly basis.
Okay.
What's the cloud fee? I
That's
mean, I know what it is, but what's the amount? I didn't see that.
let me flip to that section here.
That's all right, don't waste any more.
There was an email that actually, this is more summary based, there was an email that broke out what the annual subscription fee and what the one-time software fee is gonna be for this program, and I will get back to you
Okay.
with that question. in the next meeting.
Right.
Good, thank you. Rental ordinance working group discussion.
Seeing that, if Steve is not here, I've asked that we table that discussion until he comes to the meeting.
Okay. Resolution 2018.
That is just as a placeholder, but it would be something that we will need to take action on. We did reach out to Dale High about getting a consultant contract from him. He said he would get me a contract on Monday for our review. If we can't come to terms, there is another option at this point. So one way or the other, we will have something to discuss at our next meeting.
Okay. Manager's report.
Somewhere it is, yes, sure. MS4 update, because we haven't had enough MS4 at this point. Now, I got a letter from DEP just the other day. I have not looked at it yet, other than I will just summarize it in very basic terms. If you will recall, in our meeting in September, and people that were in the office meeting here remember that we had gotten a comment from DEP tied to our 5-year permit that would have doubled the cost of us being compliant with the MS4 program for the next 5 years. We threatened to appeal the permit process, to go through the formal appeal process, and DEP blinked, and they removed the comment, approved our permit, and approved our pollution reduction plan. Yesterday, not a day and a half ago, yesterday I received a letter from DEP in the mail. The letter said, we acknowledge that your permit has been approved, and with your approval permit, your pollution reduction plan was approved. That was the opening comment. We now have the following comment on your pollution reduction plan, which you must address. So they brought the $1.25 million comment back in. Now, the question for the solicitor is going to be, how can they make us address a comment when the document has already been approved? By what legal mechanism now are they going to be able to come back after the fact? They've approved our permit, they've approved the plan. What is their legal mechanism now for them to come back and actually undo what they approved with this plan? It's about as bizarre as it can get. It was bizarre when they did that with the permit itself, when they gave us an approval, but it wasn't really an approval. And now it's bizarre that we get a comment letter after the fact when we already have it approved. They even acknowledge in the letter your pollution reduction is approved. Was approved when the permit was approved a month ago. But now we have this comment and you must address it. So I'm wondering what legal mechanism they can make us address a $1.25 million comment that they're imposing upon us right now. So that is a question for the solicitor that will be taken up in the next day or so. I will also pass it out to the managers group because we're the first one in the county to get that comment. As for those that are aware or not aware, the Lancaster County municipalities have a friendly relationship and have been engaged in talking with an attorney on the environmental side who can help represent all the municipalities in Lancaster County should they also receive a similar comment, which is also the reason why they took our appeal seriously 60 days ago. So it's bizarre. Hopefully by our next meeting I can report the comments gone away, or I will at least give you an update on where it stands. So that's MS4. Heatherwoods, there hasn't been too much movement over the last couple of weeks. The Lexon and Burks are getting close to working out an agreement. But Burks feels confident enough with what they've heard from Lexon that they went and actually, with what we approved, with the paving. Next week they're paving a portion of that work that Lexon was responsible for. So the fact that they paved that also kind of gives me a comfort level that Lexon and Burks homes are getting pretty close to having an agreement so that we can wrap this up and get this road dedicated. Recreation Board, there was no updates, the last rec board meeting was canceled because instead we had Stony Point Park Community Build meetings. There's been a number of those meetings, and actually there was a meeting today with Greenstown Elementary School with myself and Jude Wellman, the chairman. The school district is willing to participate in Design Day to be held in February or March, where all the elementary school kids will help design the park with the architect, and then have a big celebration at the end of the day. It's a great way to fundraise, and it's actually the drive to start getting volunteers to actually build the park. So that is February, March. Very good meeting with Dr. Musser and Dr. Alderman there discussing that. Key meetings. There was a lot of meetings that occurred the last couple of weeks. Any meeting I wanted to highlight is yesterday, myself and Chairman Fry met with Smala, and we discussed the new transfer station that is coming in at the Case and Warehouse site across from Acme, up by the interchange. You can see from the toll booths. They basically reported out that they are about a 4-year process from when they start in January to when they open the facilities, because there's about an 18 to 24 month window where they have to get a DEP trash hauling permit, or the trash processing permit that they're going to need to get at this point. They are basically going to be submitting to the township some plans in the near future. More than likely, it's going to be a modified final plan. The township is not going to be the critical path in this process. The critical path is going to be getting the DEP permit. They will have to get an updated HOP permit, minor land development plan change on the final plan with a modified final plan, and they're going to have to update their environmental permits. But they are moving in, and the township would get some trash tipping fees when it happens. To set the record straight, since I was told that certain neighbors nearby feel that a dump is going there. This is not a dump. This is a transfer station where they're going to be collecting the local trash from the 5 communities, 6, 7 communities in the northern part of Lancaster County. They're going to get hauled for goods, and others are going to haul it there, about 40 trucks a day. They then get placed on the long haul carriers that are then covered, that then hop onto the turnpike, and they take them to the Harrisburg incinerator. And then there's also going to be a smaller number of trucks that go directly to the landfill, the Fry landfill. But we're not running a trash dump. We're not
Building
creating
a
landfill in this location. Anybody wants to see, for the record, wants to see what it's look like, go to the Harrisburg Pike Transfer Station. It's a nice facility. It doesn't stink. They do a first-class bang-up job with what they got running there. It's going to be a big asset to our community at this point, and it's going to cut our costs down too. On the MPO side, Colonel Howard Boulevard, Denver interchange, we talked about this on the tip. There's going to be a meeting with PennDOT in a week. I sent an invite out to you guys. I can't remember what Supervisor responded that might be interested in attending. But we're going to have a meeting with the PennDOT to look over the 4 maintenance jobs they have that are going on in the township next year, and they also agreed to talk about this project too, so that we'll just keep it in front of them. Haven't gotten any speeding complaints over the last couple of weeks, which is amazing. And actually haven't gotten any stormwater complaints now. It's actually been dry for the most part, minus the Reamstown Road issue where we're getting flooded because of the blockage that we talked about.
There was a blockage. Was.
Past tense. Upcoming meetings, there is a Univest non-uniform meeting. I believe Liz emailed it out to everybody. The supervisor can attend that if you can make it. It's 9 a.m. There's going to be a CS Davidson meeting to go over permit tracking software. It's compatible with CS Data, and that's to get a competitive price with the one that we got with Municipal Logic to see if we get a better price, which I think we will. And just announcing that I will be off the week of Christmas. Planning activities next 4 weeks is going to be obviously getting the budget finalized next week, so that you have something to adopt based off the guidance I just got tonight. The Grayville rezoning request will be coming before the board in January. Anticipate it's under review right now by both planning commissions. We were going to still continue following up with the bonds with Heatherwood. Continue plan reviews with Garden Spot Frame and Line. Garden Spot Frame and Line did restart their project. They do have a redesign meeting with Becker tomorrow with their engineers and with Barry Simpson from Garden Spot to go over the redesign. Their redesign saving them about $1 million in construction costs.
Good.
And they will be moving forward and breaking ground probably February of next year. We will have our next community build, Stony Point Park Community Build Executive Committee meeting on December 11th.
Do we need to open up?
I need a supervisor to attend that, so if you can cover for that, I would appreciate it, because I have another conflicting meeting that night. We are going to continue working on the uniform and non-uniform pension plans into Univest, and I will need to have a private discussion with each of you about an issue that came up with on the non-uniform side in the next day or so. Nothing we're up to talk to you. EMS follow-up work's going to continue. We're going to try and get resolution on the MS4 permit side of things, and that will conclude my report.
Thank you. Any questions of the manager? Okay, I have some announcements. Proof of publication. The budget is scheduled to be adopted at 7:30, December 6th. Will we table it to next meeting? So that's publication, which is wrong, but anyway.
Well, technically, Mr. Chair, it's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
You
We
did take
tabled it.
action on it,
Yeah, I
tonight, you
know.
chose to
Okay.
table it.
You're right, okay, I'm sorry. A couple weeks ago, county, what was that, county dispatch?
Lancaster County Communications.
Yeah,
That's
Chad
good.
and I met with them, and we looked over the map, and one thing stuck out like a sore thumb. On Guard Spot Road, there's a farm there on our side of the road that showed that Effort was alarmed to that first also. We changed that to Reamstown. And, what was the other one?
The Grable property.
Grable, oh, the golf course.
Golf course, yeah.
Golf course was, we changed that to Stevens also, so it was announced that. Okay, anything else for the board? Any public comment?
Just from last meeting, I did watch the YouTube video. Thank you for acknowledging me. I did watch that, and yeah, tried to get picked up. So, hopefully it doesn't happen like it did last year.
Yeah.
The only thing I can ask is, when the haulers agreement go out to across the board, that there would be something in there, some teeth maybe that, that did a good call. They didn't put the trucks out Thursday or Friday, they did them Saturday or whatever.
Right.
But just some teeth in there that it doesn't go forgotten for 5 times like it did last year and stuff all over the place. So
I will try. Obviously, we're a little bit on the limited side because we're not actually directly contracting with them, if you know what I mean? It's more of a writing to. But I'll take your concern and we'll see what we can do.
right, yeah, it worked out great. So like I said, lessons learned.
I have a photo album from the Adamstown Library here, if anybody wants to see it. It shows the different programs they did with children at the Adamstown Library. So, lay it up here and anybody wants to look at it for the meeting. Okay, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion adjourned, thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
The restaurant, like,
Sure that- Oh, no. Put it on your phone.
they respond.
I'm thinking, I was like, you know where that came from.